wants to be a gunshot, gunshot, gunshot cash register noise millionaire? The way that man was saying millionaire.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
I really liked it. It was giving Stanley Tucci in Hunger Games.
I thought you were going to say who wants to be a podcast host for a second.
Who wants to be a Well, I don't want to, but I'm here. No, I'm just kidding. I love being here with you. Emily, you're my co-host.
Hello. Hi, Dara.
Hi, I'm Dara. I'm 25 now. My frontal lobe is developed, which means nothing new. So that's about it for me. We're here, and we told you at the end of last month that we were going to do White Boy of the Month as our theme. And honestly, a lot of you wrote in with really funny suggestions. Somebody sent in the fish from Finding Nemo, the sexy fish. Like, I think that was in Brooke Drew. Love.
Yeah, that sounds like...
I was like, Willem Dafoe. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's a man. But yeah, like, fair. But then we were considering, and I was considering, like, what is on trend? What is in the know? It's a little bit dated. My mom texted me. She goes like, I had to Google what that meant because I just didn't think your explanation really covered it. And she's like, you're saying it's outdated, but it's old. I'm like, no, it's old, but it comes back. It's like
she resurfaces.
It's like it's like Pennywise. It comes back every
7 years,
27 and a half years or whatever it is. But I decided that the white boy that I really want to talk about is Oscar himself, the award, the titular.
Yeah.
I think it's named after a white man. I think I can call him
absolutely
white because it's definitely named after a white man. But
well, enough white people have gotten it.
The white boy of our month is Oscar, and we want to talk about award season instead because it just.
Sorry, guys. Maybe another time.
Holidays are over, but what did you say? My holiday season
is just beginning,
and like we love it and we hate it and we love to hate it, and it's when I get the most riled up.
Exactly,
and I think that's what we need.
Absolutely. Golden Globes are this weekend too.
Yeah.
So it just feels right, you know.
Before we get into what we're talking about, can we just talk about the Golden Globe box office category? Are you aware of this?
No.
So the Golden Globes added a new category. It's kind of similar. I think the Oscars a couple of years ago, maybe like 1 year ago.
Probably.
They made this like, it wasn't an actual Oscar, but it was like an award that they presented during the night. And it was like best movie moment. And I think they gave it to like the 3 Spider-Mans linking up.
Yeah, this sounds familiar. It was like giving like Teen Choice Awards.
Yes, it was giving MTV so hard. And everyone was basically like, do you know your audience?
Yeah.
Because it's you trying to reach an wider audience is actually really isolating the people who like actually give a shit about your award show, right?
Which is not that many people these days.
Right. So I'm like, why don't you, I'm like, honestly, make it nicher.
Yeah.
Give out nicher awards. Don't be awarding Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Give me some like Norwegian student film and have them come up on stage or something. That's gonna make me jazzed, right? Mm-hmm. But so that was like a weird thing that they did. But the Golden Globes this year have a category called cinematic, and box office achievement. And I believe it's 8 films.
Sure.
The only ones that are nominated in other categories are Oppenheimer and Barbie, obviously, and then for animated feature, the Mario movie and the second Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
But all the other ones are like the John Wick movie, the Taylor Swift concert tour, whatever. And I just don't understand. If it's box office achievement, you just have to give it to the one that made the most money.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying. It's just Barbie.
It's
just Barbie.
Just Google what made the most money this year, and then you're just going to give them an award? Like, for what?
They already got the award. All of that money.
Right? But so it's cinematic and box office achievement. So are they just picking what the top 10 highest grossing movies, and they're like, we're going to pick the best one? Like, what the fuck is the point of that? Honestly,
it's stupid. It's just stupid.
It was just really rubbing me the wrong way because I was looking through the Golden Globe noms because honestly, I don't know that much about the TV shows.
This is a Golden Globe thing?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
They're a little more like blasé over on the Golden Globe side, and the Oscars like try to be really like stiff and formal
Yeah.
for movie people, but it just
Mhm.
like sometimes it comes off like really not how it should. But
That's so
yeah, Golden
fucking
Globes. I was like,
strange.
let me like look into some of the TV shows because I just don't watch a lot of like new TV, I guess. But I was like, I was so hung up, I couldn't even get past like the second thing because I was like, what the actual fuck is this box office category?
Bullshit.
I'm gonna kill myself on stage in front of everyone to forever change the trajectory of the Golden Globes.
I think that's a great idea, actually.
Oh my god.
Who
Could I pass? Who was gonna win that I could like be their body double? Maybe someone who does like editing.
Maybe.
Thelma Schoonmaker. I could get into like old lady drag. She's Martin Scorsese's editor.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
But I don't know. That was really plaguing my mind today.
I hate that.
Do you know what else was plaguing my mind today? Not to get on a tangent.
No, please.
I hate the word module.
Really?
I don't think it's ever used in a way that I think a different word couldn't be used more effectively. Like, call it category, call it section, call it chapter. What the fuck is a module? I'm sorry, give me one example of a time when the word module is used that is correct and right and feels necessary. That was pissing me off today.
Couldn't say. Sounds like some onboarding bullshit for a job.
Right, but I'm like, you're saying like this module, I'm like, this section. Because there are 3 sections.
Yeah.
And it's a section. Oh my god.
Anyways. Pretty goofy.
Anyways, we're going to talk about the movie Slumdog Millionaire today because Emily had never seen it. And our theme this month is Oscars, but it's kind of loose, but we want to just start off like with winners, but I think we're going to deviate for sure. We're going to get into maybe some snubs, some nominees, maybe some like actor or actress winners. It's loose. It's out there. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your favorites are.
We're starting the new year off with mostly what we want to do.
But I really wanted you to watch this movie because although I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites like ever, I think of Best Picture winners, this is in my S tier for sure. And not a lot of movies I even think are good that win Best Picture.
Absolutely.
I have this personal quest that I've been on for a couple of years now. And it's every Best Picture winner since 1970.
That's crazy.
That's where I cut myself off. And honestly, like I'm showing you the list. The checks are it's not hard to get through a lot of them because
are these all the ones that were nominated?
These are nominees. In 2016, I started.
That's when you started your quest. Yeah,
I started counting nominees as well.
Damn, bitch.
But honestly, you're like, I've seen Forrest Gump. Like, who hasn't? And like, they used to just give the Oscar to like the most popular thing. But it's obviously ebbs and flows through the waves of time. But I think I usually like try to judge from when I was born. Right? For in my lifetime, I think that's when my opinion is most valid, right? Because what I feel about a movie from 1970 is going to be like wildly different than somebody who actually really enjoyed it when it came out, right? So I always try to judge like from 1998 to here, that's when I feel the most valid. And even though this one won the Oscar in 2008, right? And 9, because it came out in 2008, so it wins the following year, right? So like obviously I didn't see this when I was 9 years old, like, but I feel valid in my opinion, and I've seen the majority of the 2000s and the 2010s, and I've seen everything from 2016 to today, and this is in my top 3 winners for that section for sure. And I'm excited. Did you enjoyed it?
Loved it.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear it.
It's I walked into your house and you told me not to talk about it because we wanted to talk about it for the podcast.
It's like, save the energy.
But you did say, you were like, there's something about watching a movie from 2008, and that's the best way I can put it. Is like, I just haven't seen a movie like this in a lot of aspects, but I think it is very much a time capsule. Little baby Dev Patel.
Oh my god.
Iconic.
I love that we shifted from White Boy of the Month to talking about like he could never be White Boy of the Month, but he's the man of my life.
Yeah.
Like man of my lifetime, Dev Patel. I would give up everything for him. He's, I think, married or has like a partner or whatever. I don't care. Oh my god. I am obsessed with the Skins to Celebrity pipeline. Let's fucking get into it.
Please. I never watched it.
So it's this really early 2000s British TV
British
show.
Euphoria, basically.
Yeah, and they did, I think, like an American Netflix thing.
Sure.
I don't know. That's not my business.
Whatever.
That's not what I'm talking about here. But the original cast of Skins, they basically were like, we want to make a show about like authentic British teenagers and the sort of experiences that they have, in a Euphoria kind of way. It's trying to feel really raw, really gritty. And they were like, the best way to do it is to just cast real teenagers. So none of those kids were actors.
That's crazy.
And they just like got them off of the streets and shit, and like, just held auditions to be like, hey, who wants to be on this show? And they picked them. We got fucking gems of our generation from that show. Nicholas Hoult, Slay the House Down, my life. Dev Patel especially. He was such a minor character in that show. Like, he was like the background friend. Yeah. Like, he maybe had like one episode that like really focused on him, like his situation.
Otherwise, he like popped in and out.
Right, yeah, he was not into it. I would say the girl who played Effie, I'm still referencing her as the girl who played Effie, so obviously that's kind of where she peaked. But she's been in some like action movies and stuff. She was the girl in The Maze Runner, which was like kind of a big deal or whatever. But notably, too, Game of Thrones rose to fame. The kid who played Gendry was in Skins hot. Yeah. And Cassie from Skins plays Sam's wife, the girl who was like part of that weird, just like random Skins people just like popping up in like A-list shit. And I could probably go on. I'm sure there's way more, but like I would say the top two are Nicholas Hoult, who was like the main character in Skins, but Dev Patel, like, oh my god. Wild. And Skins started in 2007 or 8, I want to say. So this movie came out very shortly after.
Damn,
It's his first movie. This is his first movie ever. Yeah.
And he got thrown it, and he got an Oscar for it. That's crazy.
Did he? No, I mean, they won. I mean, yeah.
Best Picture.
Yeah, they won Best Picture.
They still get the Oscar.
I'm sure he has a statue.
Yes. He has his Oscar. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, because he serves it here. And I think if you're acting like that and you're, first time ever, I'm also recently obsessed with like first appearances because of Dominic Sessa, particularly in The Holdovers. Yeah. Like first performances, like your first, movie you're in.
This is phenomenal.
Yeah. Introducing.
I love when his British accent slips out a couple of times.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. He starts like yelling a little bit when he's angry. Mm-hmm. That
oi, mate.
But that's crazy. And while I think he is great in this movie, it's the child actors for me.
I was gonna say, like,
they carried this shit.
Because it's majority them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this movie's told predominantly through flashbacks.
Yes.
And basically, if you've never seen it, the premise, I'm going to give it to you in 30 seconds, is that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's a game show. You answer trivia questions, you win money. And this poor, lower class Indian
slumdog.
Basically, they said that they invented that word. I don't think that that's like actually true, but they basically said that it was supposed to be like slumlord and underdog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Sure. Because some people were like, that sounds like a slur. And they were like, it's not a slur, we made it up. But I'm like, I don't think that makes it any better. But he gets onto this game show, and he's answering all of these trivia questions correctly and compounding more and more money to the point where the producers are like, how the fuck, like, how is he cheating? Yeah. And it tells in flashbacks how he knows the answer to each question because somehow, conveniently, through like a deus ex machina of storytelling, he just knows because of things that have happened in his life. And the whole point of the movie is basically like fate, right? Fate led him to this moment where it happened that he just had a life experience with every question that was asked up until the very end where he wins the big money because he guesses correctly. And then he gets the girl and but he has a very hard life. It's basically all about his childhood and how he grew up. Like, he's an orphan. His mother is killed in front of him. And then he's like drafted into child labor, borderline slavery. Yep. And then like breaking out of that. But then his brother sort of becomes like a gang affiliate and he's sort of grappling with that. But I love that they do the different child actors, right? They do the little,
perfect,
and then they do the middle-aged, and then they do like the, the younger teenager, right? 3 stages. Don't put Dev Patel in little shorts and tell me he's 12.
Yeah, no.
Shut the fuck up. No.
This is what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Last week.
I love, though, that they had an intermediate child age, too.
Thank God.
Yeah, but all of them were great.
Yes, and I love the jump that they did from the little guy to sort of like tween.
Yeah. We'll say like 12 to 15, right? Because it's about him and his older brother.
Yeah, so tween Jamal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fall off a train, and it's like in the editing, as they're rolling off the train, they age.
Yeah,
but it's like supposed to insinuate that they've been doing it for a while, which is really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask you though, like, this movie won hella Oscars, and that's including editing and cinematography.
That's a little questionable.
That does not sit right with me. I'm like giggling and kicking my feet because it's silly. Yeah. Because I think it's goofy as hell.
It's the overlay fades.
The piss filter to show you that it's the past. To show you, like, the harder his life is and the more poverty he's in, the more piss they add into the filter. Like, dehydrated piss. They're like, how dehydrated was Jamal at this time? Oh, he's living in a pile of poop?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a piss filter. Yeah. Oh, his mother got killed in front of him? Piss filter. Like, I'm like, is this offensive? They're like, the more yellow we make it, the harder of a time he's having. Yeah, the poorer he is, the yellower we make it. That is not okay.
Yeah.
This looks like it was edited on iMovie on my phone.
Easily. And who did this movie? And what was its budget?
Okay, can I tell you?
Please.
I'm going to give you one trivia hint. That the director of this film has another really notable scene where someone dives into poop.
Have I seen it?
Yes, you have. Diving straight into a toilet bowl of shit.
Trainspotting.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes, it's, if I had 2 nickels, I'd have 2 nickels, right?
Yeah.
Like, so also to come around to...
It makes sense.
Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
That's a white British man.
Yeah.
Directing this movie about an Indian boy's life.
Yeah.
That does not sit right with me. That is not okay.
I don't love that he has an Oscar for it.
Yeah. Well, he does because, wait, let me read to you what this won. Picture, director, cinematography and editing, which I have parentheses, LOL, score, sure, song.
Song was great.
It's the one at the end with the dance scene. Yeah. Sound mixing and adapted screenplay.
Jesus Christ.
It swept, and it was shit. I mean, not to be cheesy, it was an underdog. Really, not a lot of people expected this to do nearly as well as it did.
That's wild.
Because it
was a $15 million budget.
I believe it.
Nothing.
They're not children.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, well, we don't have to pay them because they're children. Wait, that's the plot of our film. I know that they did do a thing where they set up trust funds for the kids to go to college after. They were like... That's
really dope.
Which is cute.
Because I'm assuming they shot a lot of this, like... In India.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I don't love that like white people made this movie, and it does feel like a very westernized view of India because it's basically like, look at how unfortunate these people are.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't think making a movie about something that's hard or sad is inherently problematic. Of course, those are like important and good stories to tell. But I do think it's an incredibly like white privileged westernized view to be like, I want to see every country that's not me as third world.
Yeah.
Right? Which is just like, doesn't sit right with me that this is the one movie that's really rose to the top of the public eye. This is the only Oscar winner that's telling a story like this. Yeah. Whereas I'm like, I'm sure there's a million movies by Indian people about Indian people that are just like more authentic than this that we've never even heard of.
Yeah,
right?
But again, I don't think that, I mean, Oscars wise, obviously this is not made for them. This is made to pander to an audience of rich white men who have,
yeah, of course. I mean,
it all makes sense. It makes sense. It's just unfortunate that this is the thing that
does it mean I don't enjoy it? Like, no, I still do like this movie.
Love Trainspotting, so that makes so much sense that this is Danny Boyle. Yeah.
But like, I accept the criticism about this, and I think it's really valid. Just like thinking about this, like incredibly westernized view of India. And like,
oh yeah,
it's just like, oh, okay, so this is how we're portraying it, right?
Yeah,
but
it was borderline offensive.
Yeah, like to a point. But also, I'm like, I'm enjoying myself while I'm watching it.
Yeah,
and it's fiction. It's also it's based off of a book written by an Indian person, so it's not like this man like made this up, right? Like, but it's also the screenwriter is also a white guy, so it's questionable across the board. But I am not going to sit here and like defend these people for making this movie, but I don't think it's inherently problematic necessarily.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I loved it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and I didn't know that it was going... I knew the general plot. I didn't know that it was going to be told entirely through flashbacks, and I thought that was really cool. I loved the way they did it. I thought that the setup was great, and the pacing was solid. And it wasn't too corny for me. The
only thing is, the very end for me, like the last 20 minutes... just kind of is like a little bit of a knife in my side. Because maybe I hate romance. I didn't think it was necessary, and I thought it would maybe be more beneficial if the story was about like him being her lifelong friend and getting her out of a bad situation than him like romanticizing her from the moment they met when they were children and like her being the prize, right? Yeah. Like, he has to get her out because she's the prize. Yeah. Whereas to me, more impactful is like she's my best friend, the sibling that I wish I had. Right. Yeah. That is more powerful to me. But obviously, romance sells. And I'm not too mad at it. It felt authentic. The two of them dated for like the better part of a decade.
Shit. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah. So the chemistry I thought was there. I thought he played up the like loser little brother making googly eyes up at the, I thought he played that up a little too much, but they had to portray the conflict between him and the brother, and like obviously the brother wanted to fuck her too, so
which, let me tell you, the actor that they got for older Salim, so hot.
And looked
so hot.
Looked just like the slumlord, like child slaver. Yeah. Like, I loved that they got someone who looked so much like him. They almost like took away from the brotherly resemblance to add more to the fact that the brother is now becoming the person who like ruined their lives, right? Like, he looked so much like him that I was like, damn, that casting goes crazy.
It was really impressive.
But true, I was into it.
It was really, and this, like, I've obviously like seen like the Tumblr, like, what is it called? I can't remember. But the panels from like him being in the bathtub covered in money and all that shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, classic. But I thought it was. This is one of those movies, I watched this last night, so it's still pretty fresh for me, and I can't articulate exactly what about it I really love, but I think the back and forth between, like, usually when something's too time jumpy, it pisses me off. I think this did it really, really well. I think going between the game show and the police station and the actual flashback was done really nicely. And that's, I think, hard to do.
For sure. Especially something that's so, like, wildly regarded as, like, a good movie. Why do I feel... correct me if I'm wrong. I do not have the facts or statistics to back this up. But I feel like this movie is, like, beloved. I feel like every time my like family goes on vacation or like staying in like an Airbnb, this is one of the DVDs on the shelf, right? Like, everyone owns a DVD of this movie. Everyone has seen this movie. It's on TV all the time. I feel like I remember watching this movie in segments on TV all the time when I was like a teenager. Which is funny because it's so choppy. It's like, where even are you? But I just feel like across the board, right? This movie is beloved, which is wild to me because it's deeply upsetting. It's about something that some people would find foreign and non-approachable, right? Like Republican, I mean, I'm not gonna say Republican, but like middle-aged white men love this movie.
Yeah.
Like the men who own the cabins that I'm renting own this on DVD.
Yep.
So it's like, what is the sauce that this movie had?
It's everyone loves an underdog. Everyone loves an underdog. That's what it is.
And I think the thing that you said about like, what about this is so quintessentially like late 2000s that just makes me feel like a certain
piss
nostalgia.
filter for sure.
Yeah, absolutely that. No doubt about it. But I do think like the simplicity, right? It's something that's easy and it's kind of maybe cliche, right? It's super cliche, but like we're doing it and we're doing it hard and we're committing 100%.
And they did it well.
And they're doing it well, right? And I'm not mad about it. Like even like the romance is so obtuse, but like I don't care. Like I'm always gonna be mad at the romance. I don't want it to be there.
I don't know, man. I loved. See, that's the thing, though. For me, is that I wouldn't want to lose that final question moment where he's just sitting there and he's like, I don't know, I don't care. This one, and he obviously gets it right, but like,
would it be better? I think. To answer my own question before I even ask it, no, it wouldn't. But would it be better if he gets it wrong, but he still feels the gratification of winning because he like gets to reunite with this person? Like, no, I think that's corny. Let him win.
I think that's more tired and played out.
Let him win.
Exactly.
Let him win the money.
And which I think there's so many, and I think that might be part of the thing that makes it feel different in 2008, I guess, is because a lot of shows and a lot of movies that I watch these days, like thinking about like Game of Thrones, the way that it ended trash because they wanted to subvert your expectation. You know what I mean?
Do the easy thing and do it right.
Exactly. Nothing has to be like gasp worthy.
And honestly,
just let us feel like you get so little gratification these days, like in general. Let me have this one win by watching this fake person on this fake movie win this fake game. You know what I mean?
And it's also like, if you do the easy thing and you do it well, people can only get so mad because what? You think of a better ending, right?
Yeah.
I think about unsatisfying endings, and I've come up with 37 and a half alternate universes in which things have played out in a way that is far more satisfying.
That's why fan fiction exists.
If there's anyone I know who's better at trivia than Dev Patel in this movie, it's my mother, Jen. You would win Who Wants to Be a Millionaire without any doubt in my mind.
Probably not like under all the pressure. I would cave under the pressure.
You would crack. When the host is like, are you sure about that? You would be like, you're right.
Yeah, when he feeds you a wrong answer.
There's this new show called The Floor. Did you guys see the ads for it?
No, I don't watch cable TV.
So it's Rob Lowe is the MC.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, there's all these people and they all pick an area of their expertise and then like, I don't know, you challenge people and on. But like, I guess it begs the question, if you were given some kind of list or had to pick your area of expertise, what would it be?
Ooh. I remember back in the day when Trivia Crack really popped off as an app, and then there was Trivia Crack Kingdoms, which you could pick the category and it could be super niche. And I remember doing a lot of like TV show specific. Like I was like on the leaderboards for like Lost trivia, highest ranking person who's doing like there were only 10 people doing it. Like I don't know why I felt proud, but I feel like I could get into some, especially if it was a show I've watched recently. Or a show that I have like a lot of like nostalgia for, like an Avatar: The Last Airbender trivia. I think I would eat.
Do you ever think you think you know a show and then they start asking trivia and you're like, oh God, I don't really know this as much as I thought at all?
Yeah, I guess I feel that way sometimes about like Harry Potter shit, right? Because that feels nostalgic to me. But by the time I dropped off as a fan, so much other like lore shit has been compounded upon where they're like, Newt Scamander's best friend, the twig guy, is named what? And I'm like, who are you talking about? Like, that is not in the core 8 movies.
Nope.
Let's keep it to that, friends.
All right, so if you had a general category though that you feel like you could
A general.
say you were,
I can't say a specific TV show. I have to say it has to be something that you generally say, like art, history. Like it would be like,
yeah, like
Mine's pop
It's like-
culture.
pop culture.
Yeah.
I was just saying today that I feel like I used to be really in the know about pop culture shit, especially TV shows. And today I like look at the Golden Globes nominated TV shows and I'm like, I don't know what any of this is. I'm like, am I that out of touch?
I'm worse with TV,
Yeah.
for sure. Movies, I think we're still kind of on top of.
Yeah. I just
Because
think
of our job.
there's right. But I feel like there's so much being made like more now.
Yeah.
That like when I was like 15, I was watching every Netflix show that was like at the peak.
Yeah, because it was just Orange is the New Black.
But now there's like 90 of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't. Does that make me a boomer? I don't know. I can't keep up. If you gave me like a week to study and refresh my brain, I did almost like do art history in college, and I'm pretty good about like knowing what painters did what shit and what eras are for what. I think I would need a little prep time, but like art as a general category, I think I could pull it off.
Yeah.
I think I would be good at Disney, but somebody had Bones as their category, and I'm like, oh, if Bones was an option,
They can have Bones, but I can't have Lost.
All right, you can have Lost.
Okay. And I'm still gonna lose.
I don't mean Bones the TV show. I mean like Bones
Jen,
in your body.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, extenuating introductory to Jen, my trivia boss of a mother. She's here to host her interim podcast segment. It's not trivia. It's actually the opposite of trivia. It's only your opinion. Chocolate vanilla. She's going to say two things. We're all going to say which one we like better. Jen, is there a theme this week?
There is. So it's Golden Globes themed.
We love it.
Golden Globes are this Sunday. It's getting excited. I'm getting excited about the awards season. I have some catching up to do. I'm not going to lie.
Same.
So this is, I'm going to say chocolate or vanilla. So you know how the Golden Globes does two best movies? Like one is drama and one is comedy or musical.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that'll be the chocolate or vanilla. But the strawberry will be if one of those two didn't win the Oscar and there's a different Oscar winner in there. That'll be the third one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got me?
Got it, yeah. I think so.
Yes.
All right. So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Vanilla.
Chocolate. Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Sticking vanilla.
Yeah, I'm going to go with strawberry. All right. First one. Fabelmans, Banshees of Inisherin, or Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Oh, Everything Everywhere, no fucking doubt.
Easy.
When I was looking at the list of winners to pick what we wanted to talk about, I was like, oh, we should maybe do something like recently, and we already covered Everything Everywhere like the second it came out. Like I was freshly in the theater with my notebook, like taking notes for this podcast, and honestly, no other winner in the past, I'm gonna say decade, even fucking comes close.
Nope. No shot.
Yeah, same. I did. So you would pick the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, me too. Me too for the sweep. So that like Golden Globes, the two winners did not include Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is amazing.
Shocking.
I think it usually is not consistent. They're, as two different award shows. I don't think it's always whoever wins Best Drama wins Best Picture. That's typically not always the case.
It's I'm gonna say actually half and half. And we'll come at one time the comedy or musical one, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Next one, Power of the Dog, West Side Story, or Coda.
I'm gonna say Power of the Dog on this one. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion, but I thought Coda was garbage. I thought it had the dialogue and cadence of a Disney Channel original movie. I'm sorry. Like, I know that it was very inclusive and it was about a diverse group of people that doesn't usually get put onto film. Like, I know all of that is great. Objectively, I did not like it as a movie.
It was Coda, Power of the Dog, and what was the other one? West Side Story?
West Side Story.
I haven't seen any of these, actually. I did really bad that year. I'll go Power of the Dog, just because that is the one that seems the most interesting to me. And I'm
Directed by a woman.
Yes, and I'm not going to watch Ansel Elgort on screen for 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Same. I will go Power of the Dog for sure out of those three. So next one is Nomadland or Borat subsequent movie film.
Fuck Nomadland.
Yeah, fuck Nomadland, and I'll say it.
Boring.
I like the Borat movies, and I love that the girl from Borat, who's also in Bodies, 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 got
That's
the
so
supporting actress nomination because she fucking went in and
almost
got sexually assaulted by Rudy Giuliani. Like, literally the craziest shit to ever be captured on film and be put out into, like, public audience. So wild. I would say Borat 2 does not hold up compared to Borat 1 as far as comedy. Also, Borat 1, watching it today, I'm like, oh, we have some things to refresh here. But I will pick Borat 2 because slay the house down boots. We gotta trap those Republicans.
Yeah, no chance against Nomadland. It's Borat.
Honestly, if you pitched to me, if you're like, it's gonna be Frances McDormand shitting in a Home Depot bucket, I would have said, oh, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like the ride of a lifetime. How did they blunder that? Yeah.
Butchered.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I thought Nomadland was boring.
So
boring. I haven't even seen Borat, and I'll pick Borat. Next one. 1917, Once Upon a Time in America, or Parasite.
I love 1917.
I know, Emily. I was about to be like, Emily, talk about how much you love 1917, but Parasite, I would say, is the only winner from the past decade that even holds a candle to Everything Everywhere, right? If we're talking about like winners that are actually good movies, oh my god.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, but from just, I don't know what it is. Something about 1917 really scratches my brain.
It's like watching your boyfriend play video games.
Yes.
It's like, you know, I don't have to do anything, but he's doing all the moving around and like the first person shooting stuff. He's driving around in GTA, and I'm like, this is kind of fun.
Exactly. I can't remember the actor's name, but I thought he was spectacular.
The main guy.
Yeah. I can't remember for the life of me.
Not Harris Dickinson.
No.
But close.
Yeah. This is...
Yeah.
Harris Dickinson is what this man wanted to be. You know what I mean?
Has he been in anything else? I'm going to Google him right now.
Yeah, Captain Fantastic.
Okay.
That one about that, he thinks he's a wolf. Do you remember hearing about that movie a couple of years ago?
Which one? Is it George McKay?
Yes, George McKay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's done like a good handful of movies. Like he's a good actor. I like him.
Harris Dickinson is him on Ozempic.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. But yeah, I watch 1917 at least once a year, so I'm gonna go 1917.
Okay. I will go with Parasite as well. Although all three of these movies are good, definitely.
What was the other option?
Once Upon a Time in America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good with Leonardo and Brad Pitt.
In Hollywood.
Oh, I'm sorry. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think Once Upon a Time in America is a totally different movie.
It's also a movie. Yeah. No. Yeah. I enjoyed that one. That one's pretty controversial. A lot of people did not care for it. I liked it.
Fine. It struck me the same way that Miyazaki's last movie struck me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You're like, it's fine. It's him. You know what I mean?
But I'm like, I like it.
Yeah.
He drew a bunch of little guys. It's so nice.
Okay, this one's going to be hard for you guys because I think you don't like either of them. But Bohemian Rhapsody or Green Book. So listen to this. So Bohemian Rhapsody is the drama and Green Book is the musical or comedy. And I'm like, that's opposite. Bohemian Rhapsody, if you told me you wanted to categorize that as a musical, I might go with you. But the Green Book supposedly goes under comedy.
There's nothing funny about that movie.
No. And the only musical thing is when the guy plays piano, right? But seriously, that's how it went down. Flip of what you would think.
Wow. I guess that never registered to me until
And then, of
this
course,
moment.
Green Book won the Oscar, which
Yeah,
was garbage. Yeah.
that is embarrassing. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing that movie won.
Yeah.
Oh, he throws the chicken bones out the window because he's Viggo Mortensen. Fucking hate that movie. As much as I hate Bohemian Rhapsody, I fucking hate that movie. I'm gonna pick it here because at least it didn't vilely offend me in a way that I felt like was actually impactful. I was like, this is just like a poorly made movie.
Yeah.
Green Book, I was like, I cannot believe this is getting the accolades it's getting.
Yeah. Insane.
It was
Absolutely insane.
obtuse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will choose singing, dancing, strutting little Rami Malek any day compared to the White Savior film. Yeah, it'll be Bohemian Rhapsody for me.
Yeah, but it's Bo Rap for me too. I just think Rami Malek was awesome, and if you fill a movie with Queen songs, I don't care if it's a great movie. I love it. Queen for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm in.
Yeah.
Darren and I saw a Queen tribute band this summer, and they were very good.
It was the guy who played or like was the tribute singer for Freddie Mercury was like, I was like, they should have cast him. Like, he was unclockable.
Huh.
That's gonna be my my new thing is I want to see a tribute band every summer because they're always really good and they're really cheap.
Yeah. You can just get trash. You're like, it's just like the real thing.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Next one is Moonlight or La La Land.
Moonlight.
Yeah.
This is a staunchly
like
anti-La La Land podcast. I'm sorry to those who love it.
It divides the film community.
I'm like, I love that for you. I wish I liked it. I wish I felt the things you felt. I truly do.
Nothing of the sort. It did nothing for me. Stale, flat, tired, played out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Moonlight also. Next one, Revenant, The Martian. Again, comedy or musical, I don't know, but Spotlight. So those three: Revenant, Martian, Spotlight.
What's Spotlight about?
Spotlight is about the news people who broke the priests touching little boys scandal with Rachel McAdams.
I've wanted to watch that.
It won Best Picture. I remember really liking it when seeing it in the theater. And then the minute it won Best Picture, it like evaporated from my frontal lobe. Like I know what it's about, but I never recall it when I'm thinking about like Oscar winners.
Yeah.
Like it really just does not stand out to me, even though I do remember enjoying it. But I will pick The Revenant because that stuck with me, and the score in that movie made it.
The Revenant didn't really do anything for me, but again, it's been years since I've watched it.
I will listen to like the Revenant score when I need to like feel like the main character. Like when I need a good like instrumental to like do something to. So good.
I'm still gonna pick Spotlight though, because while I haven't watched the movie, I've watched at least a third of it through TikToks.
Yep.
So
I'll go Revenant because I like that. I liked that when it came out. That was 2016. We're going backwards, by the way, News. Just a couple more.
Was that the first year we did the quest, Jen?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, because the reason we did the quest
was
is
Birdman.
Yes, and here comes the next one, 2015. Boyhood, Grand Budapest Hotel, or Birdman.
Never seen Boyhood. I'm intrigued to, but never got around to it.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Is it was supposed to be this like spectacular feat of filmmaking. And then everyone's like, yeah, like, okay. I'm like, damn, you really fumbled the ball on that one, man.
They were going to do, like, another version of, like, a type of movie like that, but they cast Blake Jenner, and they had already started it, and then he got canceled, so they just trashed the whole project.
Damn.
Yeah, now the one that they're doing with that is, what is it? That movie with Beanie Feldstein. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I've heard of this, yes. But you stop hearing about it because it's going to take a decade.
Is it Merrily You Roll Along or something like that? Or
Probably.
Is that, I don't know. It's all the
I wonder if that's the one he started in and then they reinvented it. But Anyway.
But I'll pick Grand Budapest. I really like that movie. I think it's a pretty S-tier Wes Anderson moment. And I don't really care for Birdman. It's the reason Jen and I started our little Oscar quest, because we're like, that movie won? And neither of us had seen it, but we're like, that seems like a weird choice. And then I watched it and I was like, yeah, that was a weird choice. And now every year I'm like, I need to have an educated opinion, because I was like, I want to be mad about this. I was like, I haven't seen this movie, but I want to be mad about this.
And then we spent the next 10 years being mad about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Grand Budapest Hotel. Obviously.
Same. I'll go for the sweep. Next one, 12 Years a Slave or American Hustle. Again, is American Hustle a comedy or musical? I just don't think so.
I'd call it a comedy. It's kind of light in that way.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence headbanging to Live and Let Die, I think puts it in there.
I've never seen.
We had a neighbor who was an extra on that set. They shot some of it in Worcester.
Yeah, there was a good chunk of it. Yeah, both of them are. I mean, obviously Lupita is fantastic.
I was gonna say the only reference point I have is like Lupita, and I will pick 12 Years a Slave for that reason. But it is on I have a list from 1970 to this year of Best Picture winners, and I don't do them chronologically. I just watch them but I'm basically through like most of the 2010s and 2000s, but that is one of the few that I have yet to come around to. It's heavy. It's like...
Yeah, I think it's a bear to take on. I haven't watched it since around the time it came out. But I was in the throes of my Jennifer Lawrence obsession when this movie came out. It was all... I think right after the Hunger Games franchise had sort of ended. And she did this and Silver Linings Playbook around the same time. And I thought she was fantastic in this. I really liked it. It's Amy Adams and Christian Bale and Bradley Cooper and J. Law.
Stellar cast. Stellar cast.
I really liked it. And Bradley Cooper's got like a fucking beer gut and a comb over. You know, what else could you want? So I'm going to go...
fake nose?
No. Oh no, not Bradley Cooper. Christian Bale has the beer gut and the fake nose. Bradley Cooper has perm.
Great.
Yeah. No fake nose this time though. But I'm gonna go with American Hustle.
Yeah, same. I'll go with you. Last one: Argo or Les Mis?
Les Mis. Les Mis, bitch. Prisoner 0601. Any person, including the children in the Les Mis cast, could beat the shit out of Ben Affleck. And I'll tell you that on sight.
Ben Affleck.
Little girl, there is a castle on. She has more talent in her pinky finger than Ben Affleck does in his entire...
Bro, I want to see Sacha Baron Cohen go up against Ben Affleck.
1v1.
Beat his ass. Yeah, it's like this for me.
The last thing, super fast, I'm just going to say the nominees for Sunday night, and you tell me what you think should win.
Yeah.
Okay. So for drama, it's going to be Zone of Interest, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall, Maestro, or Killers of the Flower Moon.
This is going to be controversial of me to say, because I haven't even seen this movie. But I think Past Lives should win. I haven't even seen it.
On my list.
I haven't even seen it. But I think it should, and I think it might.
Yeah.
I will be happy with an Oppie win or a Killers of the Flower Moon win. Yeah. Loved both of those.
Maestro should not win.
Have you seen it?
I did. I have seen it. I watched it the other week. I think it's good. I think Bradley Cooper is doing the most. He wants that Oscar bad.
His dick is hard.
Yes. And I thought it was well done. I think it was a little confusingly done. There was just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like they were just really reaching for the Oscar. I'm okay with Killers of the Flower Moon, though. I'm really interested in seeing, what's the first one that you said?
Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest.
I've heard fantastic things about it.
And Anatomy of a Fall as well.
What one's that about?
I've heard that the performances in that, it's not like a court case. I don't know much about it, but I've heard that the performances of it are it was like inspired a lot by Marriage Story, but it's just better.
Okay.
It's like a better done marriage
Doesn't take
story.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Norwegian people just slaying.
Cool. Yeah.
I
I'm
might not be Norwegian.
I'd be interested to see something like Past Lives or the one we just I can't
Zone
remember.
of Interest
or Zone of Interest to win. I think it'll be probably like Oppenheimer or Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna say Oppenheimer. I think Oppenheimer's gonna kill it this whole award season.
Hey, and I'm not mad.
I'm not mad about it.
I rewatched it the other day and like it's still
seeing
fine.
it in an IMAX theater.
It truly is like
that's the only way to do it.
Yeah. But
and then the nominees for musical or comedy: Holdovers, American Fiction, May December, Barbie, Poor Things, Air.
I want Poor Things.
Poor Things, I would say Barbie deserves it because Barbie truly has culturally like really changed the cinema conversation landscape this entire past year. Poor Things is the best movie I've seen in theaters in as long as I can remember.
Yep.
And that includes Barbie and Oppenheimer and like everything I saw this year. And not saying a lot of great movies came out this year.
Yeah. Nothing even touches a candle to it.
No.
Thing. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you want to listen to us talk about Poor Things, we covered it on our Patreon. It's $2.86 a month. Link in the description below. Quick plug.
Because I haven't seen it yet, because you guys saw it without me, I will go see Barbie. I will say Barbie.
Which I won't be mad if it wins. It's sort of like, yeah, of course, it's the easy softball choice. Mm-hmm. But if we're getting down to brass tacks,
Poor Things deserves it.
That movie had me scream laughing in public. Mm-hmm. Like I truly was letting out guttural yelps of pure joy.
It also had, that's the funny thing too, is it also had my brain thinking at the same time.
Yes.
Not a lot of movies do that.
And Barbie did both of those things as well. But Poor Things were just a little more my taste. It was just a little more,
but again, it was a softball. It was America Ferrera giving the
feminism 101 speech. Yeah. But hey, if it wins, that's still a win for feminism
it's like
in general.
Barbie is like first tier feminism. Poor Things is like fourth tier.
Right, you're a sophomore in college now.
Exactly.
Doing women's studies.
Yeah. Poor Things is your senior thesis.
Love. We love to see it. But Jen, there's no one I enjoy talking about award season more with than you. And I'm sure that we will be recording some Golden Globes, Oscar-related content maybe for the Patreon, not to keep plugging, but Jen and I was talking with Jen in the car today, and I was going off, and I was like, I gotta save this energy for the pod, because I just want to talk about award season with Jen. Like, that's all I want to do. But anyways, we love you. We'll be back next week with more award season related talk, whether it be in the form of chocolate and vanilla or not. I'm sure we will slip it in there. Jen, we love you. We'll see you next week.
All right. I love you guys. Have an awesome night.
Bye. I do want to show you, I want to pull up the poster for this movie that they used to like advertise. Does this not look like a rom-com?
That's a rom-com.
Also, could they not have been in the same room at the same time? Like, they took two entirely different shots from this movie and just comped them together. Yeah. But also, look at this.
Well, I love the actual... Oh my god.
This moment in the movie is actually, like, really nice. But look at this, the quote. Feel-good film of the decade. Who the fuck said... Did you watch the movie? They blind a child with acid. What do you mean it's a feel-good film of the decade? What the hell? The poster that I'm referring to, like what they use to advertise it, it's like...
it looks like birthday cakes.
It's like the two of them under confetti, like having their nice moment.
That's crazy. Well, they put all the budget into the film. Like, they obviously did not have a lot left.
Truly.
But, like, this is the poster that I think everyone...
Yes, which is...
sort of knows.
Trillion times better. But yeah, this is like what was outside the theater, right?
That's fucking crazy.
And imagine just like thinking that this was gonna be like a rom-com about a kid who gets on a game show. No. Child slavery.
Watch his mother killed in real time.
With like religious extremism.
Yeah.
It was the blinding scene. Honestly, I feel like from the first time I watched it, I was like, that's the moment that this movie turns that you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I know his mother does get killed in front of him before that.
Yeah.
But it's when they blind a child for me.
Yeah. Well, they started off kind of light with torture. Like, it's so crazy because, like, I think this kind of makes sense that it's Danny Boyle as well, because Trainspotting does that a lot, where it's like, I really like Trainspotting. It's a movie that I love. I think it's great. I could watch it a lot. It's hard to watch.
I was gonna say hard to watch and then hard cut to something kind of funny.
Exactly.
Or light, right? Yeah. Which
exactly.
is pacing.
So that makes a whole lot of sense, because you go and you start, and Dev Patel is getting questioned and tortured by the police, saying, "You're too stupid. You came up in a bad way. Like, you could never win this." And then you hard cut to tiny little Jamal jumping into poop. You know what I mean?
I read online that the thing that they used to practically do that was peanut butter.
That makes sense.
That little boy was covered in peanut butter. Which is like, yeah.
I hope he was having the time of his life with that.
I'm like licking off the shoulder. They're like, dude, cameras are rolling.
Dude, stop. That's freaky.
Not that kind of movie. Oh my god.
But can we talk about the child actors for a minute?
Phenomenal.
Outstanding.
And again, I love to hate on a child actor. They usually just piss me off. And I think it's because, again, they got these kids, they weren't in anything. They weren't, they weren't raised to be child actors. They were just kids that they got to play these roles. It was emotionally heavy. And these kids did some heavy lifting.
Yeah, I was so impressed the entire time, especially by the little one.
Yes.
Who really starts off the movie. And I think they gave him probably more screen time than the rest of them. That's a lot of the really formative stuff happens there, and a lot of the really tragic shit happens with little Jamal. But he was phenomenal. And I mean, with like little Salim, like amazing. I thought they were both so good. And I think that the casting from like bottom to top was also just spectacular.
And I think it goes to show, I mean, I don't want to keep harping on stuff like we talked about last week with Matilda, but like finding actors or child actors or a progression of an age of actors who can behave the same way, who can act the same way, who can embody certain mannerisms or play a certain role. It just, let your audience have some brains, right? Assume that they're going to understand that the transition from these two people who may not look exactly the same, but are behaving in the same way and are playing the same character. Like, yes, we understand that, right? That is always so much more impressive of a transition to me. Like, does the baby Salim to middle Salim to Dev Patel, do they look even really alike? Like, not entirely, no. Especially with the brother, right?
It was kind of iffy.
And, here and there. I don't care because those child actors embodied the same character.
Well, it's the same thing they did with Moonlight. They did the exact same thing with Moonlight. And they were like,
what a great example of that.
Yeah. And they were sort of like, we weren't specifically looking for someone that looks the exact same from top to bottom. Like that middle actor in that movie, I mean, real skinny, wouldn't say that he has particularly the same face as the first actor that comes in.
No.
But I think like, even like not focusing too much on what they look like and just making sure that they can like take on the role and like
check. Pass the vibe
check, make sure that like that arc is obviously seen, because I think going and hiring that scrawny little guy to play that middleman in that movie was really important, so that you see him go and turn into like this beefy like gangster type of guy, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, it's just like, we're not stupid.
Yeah.
And we know that this isn't Boyhood. Yeah. Okay? You didn't take the 20 years to make this. You know what I mean?
Also, the aging up and down with computers.
Fuck it.
Oh my god. And getting people who are clearly 50 to be like, he's 27. That's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, literally. I hated when they did that in Napoleon.
I was like, just get two guys and let me be impressed by two actors.
Crazy.
Right?
Mhm.
Wild.
Mhm. Share the spotlight.
But I also wanted to talk a little bit about the other nominated films from this year.
Yeah.
So this was 2009 Oscars. Slumdog Millionaire wins, obviously. The other nominees are The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Interesting. Wasn't that, what's his name?
Fincher.
Fincher, yeah.
Yep. Frost/Nixon. Never seen it.
Don't
Milk.
care.
The Harvey Milk biopic.
Also don't really care.
The Reader.
What the fuck is that?
Don't know her. That's it. Really short list.
Short
They
list.
used to keep it brief. The two big conversation points, other than Slumdog Millionaire really sweeping a lot of categories, was this was Heath Ledger's posthumous win.
Okay.
So big deal for supporting actor.
Yeah.
He
Makes
died.
sense,
Like
yes.
that's really sad. No Dark Knight Best Picture nom.
That's pretty crazy.
It was nominated across the board in almost every other category for, cinematography, editing, makeup,
Christ.
everything. No Best Picture nom for
That's crazy.
The Dark Knight? Are you kidding me?
That is Jesus.
To think, I'm sorry.
Would you still say that if The Dark Knight was in contest with Slumdog Millionaire?
The Dark Knight wins 10 out of 10 times. I'm sorry. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I like Slumdog Millionaire. It does not even compete with The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nolan's
to me.
best.
Also, another thing that was just talked about a lot is Doubt. The movie Doubt had nominations for Philip Seymour Hoffman, Viola Davis, Amy Adams, and Meryl Streep acting across the fucking board.
Uh-huh.
No Best Picture nom.
That's crazy. Did they get actress noms?
Actress Meryl, supporting Amy Adams and Viola Davis, and then supporting actor Philip Seymour Hoffman, I believe.
Yeah. It's so funny because you watched that for the podcast and we never covered
And
it.
I texted you and I said, we cannot, I'm sorry, try as I might, this cannot be funny. And you are not listening 40 plus minutes into this because I'm smart. That's just not the case here. And the movie Doubt is not giving me a good platform.
No. We have two ends of the spectrum. Is Borat we couldn't do.
Oh my God.
And then Doubt.
Wait, we gotta do a month of the movies we couldn't cover. No, we couldn't because we couldn't do them. But it's
maybe for the Patreon.
Promising Young Woman, Borat, and Doubt. I think there's maybe some more in there that we just were like, oh, let's do this, and we start watching and we're like, oh no,
oh girl,
no. But do we want to get into our regularly scheduled programming?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so fuck, marry, kill. I feel like we do old. I mean, Dev Patel's supposed to be 18 in this. He still is a little underdeveloped for my tastes.
Yes.
Dev Patel now, I'm already pregnant.
Yeah.
I just started thinking about him and I started ovulating. It's wild to me.
So let's go adult Jamal, Latika, and Salim.
Sure, our Three Musketeers.
Yes, we're gonna Three Musketeers it.
I mean,
I'm gonna kill Jamal.
He's a millionaire. I did the conversion into US dollars.
Yeah.
200,000.
Shit.
He won 200,000 US dollars, give or take. So from 2008 in what he won to 2023 US dollars.
That's pretty crazy.
It's not a lot.
No.
They're
it's obviously life-changing.
Yeah.
But
after taxes, bro.
I just don't think there would ever be any chance of having a romantic relationship with him because he's got his girl.
Yeah.
That's
his girl.
That's his girl. And I don't want to fuck him. He's too scrawny.
But he's gonna grow up to be Dev Patel.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, maybe money changes a man.
But so I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fuck Salim because I thought he was gorgeous.
Yeah, in the bathtub full of money.
Yeah. Oh my god. Ride of his life.
He has the gun out, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I'll do the thing like in Spring Breakers where they've got James Franco sucking on the barrel.
I'm gonna fully Spring Breakers his ass.
Yeah, and then I'll marry Latika because she, seems like a nice lady. I mean, there's got to be something there that Jamal keeps coming back for.
Sure. I mean, I think it's a lifetime of friendship, but who's to say? Yeah. I'm going to marry Jamal.
Okay.
Because he has 200,000 2023 US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can buy that house on the strip and we can take Latika in.
Okay.
I'll be the other woman.
Okay.
I don't care. Like,
that'd be a fun threesome.
And honestly, the other two are kind of a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamal, even if he was just...
He's pretty mild.
Yeah, and I kind of am into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to grow up to be Dev Patel. So I would like that, please. And then, I'm going to kill Latika. I'm sorry. Like,
just so you don't have to compete with her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you never could.
And I am going to fuck the brother in the bathtub full of money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, he's definitely a piece of shit.
Yeah, but I mean, dick is dick, really.
Right, yeah.
What are you going to do? He was hot.
True, that like unbuttoned shirt with like the gold chain. I was like, I know you're supposed to be embodying somebody deplorable, but
that's a lesbian. That's a hey mama sort of night where you've had like one too many Long Islands and you're like, wait a minute.
Him and Latika are the most beautiful lesbian couple you've ever seen. Like, for real. Like, they've got a lot of money and they like notice you from across the bar and they like your vibe. Like, that's the situation.
Yeah, he's the lesbian that like tells her to go make out with you because like she thinks it's hot.
Right. And Jamal's like the roommate, right? You go back with them because why wouldn't you? And then Jamal's like in the kitchen. He's like, oh, like,
hi guys.
Don't worry, I'm used to it.
Yeah, they tell you not to even try to be quiet.
He brings you some Gatorade after, and he's like, no, I know the drill. And then you're gonna host your little 2009 Oscars party. Obviously, you're triple downing doubt this movie and The Dark Knight. Of course. No, but what are you when you're watching Slumdog Millionaire with your girlies? What are you gonna eat and drink?
I didn't want to just do like a paneer masala type of thing. You know what I mean? But I do love a little bit of halloumi cheese. And I think doing like a fried halloumi with like a spicy dip or like chili sauce on it is the perfect little snacky to have during this.
Absolutely.
And then I think to go with it, something really citrus. And I think you do a limoncello spritz.
Oh.
Same idea as an Aperol spritz. Boozy as hell. Boozy. So you do like half of your wine, not half of your wine glass, like a third of your wine glass of like limoncello, and then prosecco, and then a little bit of sparkling water.
You made limoncello once, right?
I did. It's very easy.
Like from scratch?
Yeah,
that's
super
crazy.
Easy. Yeah, you just get like some 100 proof vodka, and you put lemon rinds in a jar for a month. And then you just put some simple syrup in it, you're good to go.
That's nice.
It's very easy. Yeah.
Impressive. And then if you give it to somebody, like, as a gift.
I made you this limoncello.
Yeah. Or if you, like, make a drink and you're like, yeah, it's from scratch.
Literally. Super easy.
It's like I'm busting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm using, like, the cheapest vodka I can find. It's, like, Smirnoff.
Love.
You don't know. Who knows? You don't know.
I am going to take a visual moment, not only from this movie, but primarily that poster that I showed you.
Piss filter? Oh,
not the piss filter. That would be a good one to kind of build off of, though. No, I'm talking about the confetti. This movie ends in a beautiful moment of confetti.
Yes.
It ends in an even more beautiful dance scene, which we
didn't even talk about the dance scene.
The dance scene?
We'll save it for the end, just like they did in the movie.
Slay my life. But I love the confetti moment. Obviously, the PR team did as well, because we've got this really just like basic ass poster with this, and it just reminds me of a little funfetti cake.
Yeah.
So I think you have some funfetti cake to commemorate Jamal's big win.
Absolutely.
And then I think this is kind of where I'm going to be basic. They keep calling him the chaiwala because he's the guy who brings the tea, right? He's like the intern who gets everyone tea. So I think you do a chai espresso martini.
I just had one of these the other day.
It's nice. Yeah. It's basically you just make an espresso martini with Kahlua vodka and espresso, but then you can also add like a chai syrup, which you can make yourself just with like chai spice and honey and, you know, water and all of that. And then you can add a little coconut milk if you want it to be like a little creamier.
That sounds so good.
Right? I think you're really overindulging with your chai espresso martini and your funfetti cake.
It's a lot.
But you need it to get through this movie.
Yeah.
Because they're blinded children out here.
Yeah.
They're making them sing on the street.
Yep.
And I need a mouthful of sugar to get through that.
Absolutely.
It is not the feel-good film of the year.
No, not at all. I don't know. I can see why they would say that because ending with that dance scene made my heart soar.
So funny.
I loved it. Seeing scrawny little Dev Patel move like that.
Bust down.
I had the biggest smile on my face.
The way they're like,
and he was putting it all in.
They're like, okay, wait, in the last 5 minutes, homage to Bollywood?
Exactly.
They're like, we need to do a choreographed day. Like, this was like the most heart-wrenching tale of like a hard life lived that finally pays off. No. We're ending on the highest note, which is a group flash mob in a train station.
With an amazing song.
One best song. Jai Ho.
Brilliant.
So good.
Yeah, it was.
It's the only. Okay, why has anyone done a post-credit scene since this moment?
No reason.
Avengers, who?
Yeah.
Marvel, who?
Fuck off.
Harry Styles, who?
Fuck off. He has nothing.
That's not Jai Ho.
No.
Like,
you could try, but you'll never top that.
It was everything to me.
Yeah. That. Again, like this movie's filled with a lot of ups and downs. They left on the highest note they possibly could.
Not only did he win the game show, but you get to see him bust down. The only better thing would have been if they did the Just Dance Rasputin. That's the best dance ever choreographed to this day. Show me something better.
Yeah.
Back on 74? No. Rasputin on Just Dance 4 for
Classic.
me. Oh.
Nothing's gonna come close.
What are you gonna follow this up with?
I want to go for something that I think is Oscar snub, that also has spectacular children performances and kind of is, again, a bit of a heart-wrenching tale. And I think you go for The Florida Project. I think it's so beautifully done. I think the child actors in it are fantastic. And it's just got a lot of the same sort of notes, I guess. And I think it does end on sort of that heart-wrenching, but like really fantastic scene of them running into Disneyland.
I want to see a turnaround for Brooklyn Pierce because she, out the gate, just completely stole the show in that movie. She was acting up with Willem Dafoe and was holding her own. And since then, she's been in a lot of like not great blockbuster money grab movies. I just think she probably doesn't have a great agent.
Probably not.
It's like she's in a lot of like not great horror movies, I feel. Because they're like, oh, you can do intense really well. That means you should be like in the new Ghostbusters. Like, no, that's just simply not the case. I'd really like to see as she sort of comes into early adulthood for her to really get some better and stronger roles because she really struck me as like an amazing child actress. My answer is not quite as good as yours.
Okay.
I think you just take another Skins member.
Okay.
Duh. You take Nicholas Holt. Duh.
Of course.
You can watch Mad Max, Fury Road.
Fuck off.
You can watch The Menu, or you can watch The Favorite. And I think for dance scenes alone, you should watch The Favorite. So watch Nicholas Holt bust down in an entirely different way.
That's so good.
I think you should watch The Favorite just for like, you know. But also, I mean, not to just do another like Dev Patel movie, but I did really enjoy Lion. I only watched it because it was nominated for an Oscar, and I don't think I've watched it since, but I do remember really enjoying it, and I do remember the child actor in that also slaying.
He's so small.
So good.
Yeah, and right now there's that interview that's circulating Twitter where he's just a father to this young boy. It's
So-
the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Has he been in like rom-coms? I don't know because I don't keep up with that genre.
He is in this really great episode.
That show.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
Real People Symbol Love. Something like that.
Yeah.
All the shows are called like...
It's an Amazon original.
And Anne Hathaway's in it as well, right?
Yes.
I just think, why are we not putting this man in rom-coms?
God, what is it?
He's everything every woman... like
Modern Love.
I see him and I start barking.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we... I mean, I'm not watching rom-coms. Maybe he's in them.
When was he in True Jackson VP? When was he on True Jackson VP?
Because I'm the new VP.
I don't know. It just came up in his TV shows.
Working on a grown-up job. Never really know to work this hard. That song goes so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Keke Palmer. Put him and Keke Palmer in a rom-com together right now. And he's a widowed single father. And she is maybe like his co-worker or something. I don't know. I'm going to write it. I'm going to start writing it tonight. Get on the phone. Because I hate rom-coms. I'm about to write the one of the century.
You hate rom-coms because they haven't made a rom-com for you yet.
For me. Well, no, then he would have to, like, turn into some sort of beast. Like, by night, like, he has to turn into, like, a werewolf or something.
What did you think of The Green Knight?
I didn't care for it. I thought it was one of those, like, style over substance movies.
Yeah.
It looked really beautiful, but the actual contents of it, I was like, I'm falling asleep, and that's crazy because Dev Patel is coming.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm falling asleep. He's busting, and I'm conked out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wild.
Couldn't even open my eye to see his cum rag.
Wild that they managed to swing that.
Truly.
But we love to talk about Dev Patel, and we love to talk about award season. So we're getting into it. Like I said earlier, definitely send us your thoughts, your feelings. If you have previous favorite winners, stuff you're rooting for this season, stuff you think is a crazy snub. I love a snub. Snub, and it can be any category, right? Like it can be director, actor, actress, supporting, whatever you want to make your case for. I know we told you to do White Boy of the Month, and you guys came through for that.
We're really sorry.
But I'm sorry, the trend is over. We would have been outdated. We would have been, I still say the word chuggy, and people are like, that's not a thing people say anymore. And I'm like, well, I guess it's chuggy of me, right? Like,
yeah. You guys let us know when White Boy of the Month comes back, and then we'll do it.
Or maybe even not.
Maybe we won't.
Because we've already covered truly, like, some of the best.
Exactly. We were sitting there, we were like...
Okay, we've done Perks of Being Wallflower. We've done the best of the Hunger Games movies, right? So we're just like, Jesus Christ, we're really gonna have to crank through it, huh?
Exactly.
And I'm here to be pissed this month. So ride along with us and check out our stuff. It's in the description below. All of it, the links, the stuff. Also, it's a last-ditch effort. Whoever's listening this deep in, I love you, but can you please, for the love of God, give us a review on either whatever platform.
I'm begging you.
But especially if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you can just hit the stars, and even in where it says, can you leave a comment, just type gibberish. You don't even have to form a real thought.
Pee pee poo poo. That works.
Pee pee poo poo. Because I offered the thing of a lifetime that I will never offer again. And honestly, I'm so grateful you guys didn't pull through, because I was not about to write words for this theme song. I started to think about it, and then I had a stroke. And like, truly, but I would really like the numbers did not increase at all. Me begging at the end here is not the way for us to do it. But maybe I should start like reading them on air or something. I'll say anything you write in the comments on air if you leave us a new review. Like,
not a bad idea.
Slurs holding back, but otherwise,
if you leave us a smut fan fiction in the comments, we'll read it.
I'm not going to tell you to email that to me, because I think that's like soliciting, and that's not okay. Like, really, that's not okay for me to say. But if you
feel so strongly,
if you want to do that, it's really great for our numbers. Leave me your Keke Palmer, Dev Patel rom-com plot.
Yeah. Oh.
So that I can steal it for myself. The writer's strike is over, baby. We are
in business.
Right. Both of us work not in that. Also, everyone say congrats to Emily for getting a new job. Congrats, Emily.
Thank
we're
you
done
all.
here. I'm taking you all out. I'm rambling. But I love you, and I'm glad we're all here together to talk about award season. And goodbye.
And good night.
Good fucking night.